I come from New Brunswick, 1972. I was with a company that transferred me to Toronto, and I worked with them till 1976, till they went out of business, and then Charlie and I and another chap decided to open this store, and Charlie and I are still here, and we virtually had a jam session from day one, and this is sort of the result of it.
Where I'm from, I am from a little place called Shetty Camp on the Cabot Trail in Cape Breton. I came to Toronto in 1965. Worked around different jobs. Then I met Ossie through a mutual friend of ours who had the idea about the country music store. And a matter of fact, I met Ossie a month before we formed the partnership. And we opened the store on, I believe it's on December 15th, 1976. So this is our 10th year anniversary.
And this is a large city with a large population that likes country and traditional music, and so we decided to open it and to also give an atmosphere for the for this type of music. To play, people come in instead of hearing rock or some other type of music in the background, they hear down east music or bluegrass, and then with the jam session, they come in. There's not many stores where you hear people playing live in the store, so it created the type of atmosphere that we sort of had at home or in little halls and communities where people got together and played. So we sort of tried to create that sort of feeling here.
And they're all because of you, know. There I can't go on this way. Why don't you tell me so? Now if you have made up your mind, and if you still want me, you know, why do you keep me down? Why don't you tell me so?
Well, I originally come from the East Coast for the reason of mostly wrong often come from there is no work. And that's how come I'm up here. I've been here 21 years, and I still long for back home, which I do go back quite often. And about 8, 9 years ago, we fell into Aussie, and we heard about the store here. So we decided to come out. This is where you find all the East Coasters, apparently. If you want to meet somebody from the East Coast, that's where you come. And over the years, it's come to be quite a spot for me. Pretty hard for me to get by Saturday without being out here. Because we usually always have a very good jam here. We meet people from all walks of life. You get some people come in that never played before, said they couldn't sing. They've been coming here, they've learned to play, they've become good singers. And it means a lot to me. I really miss it if I don't come here on Saturday. It's something I look forward to the end of the week.
Well, I'm more interested in the folk side of the country music. This is one of the few spots I know where you can, still have this live music happening. I'm sure there's little pockets in people's houses and that, but this is open to the public. It's going to be here every Saturday afternoon, and I'm not a regular here because it's a bit of a drive for me to get out here, but I do try to get out here maybe a few times a year anyways.
not as in the same line as Ossie, as Ossie was more into the folk and the bluegrass. I was brought up in a little place called Cheticamp in Cape Breton, where our music was very Scottish, a Scotch fiddle, Cape Breton fiddle. We still had country music around, listening to Nashville, listening to Wheeling, which Ossie has done the same thing, being from New Brunswick. So basically, our background in music is something similar.
My background started back in the 50s, and my friend used to follow Hank Snow, and he came up here to Toronto. Him and I came up to work on a farm in Alliston, and then we met Fred Roden, who had a country store down on Queen Street, and then we went on from there, and that's how I got into country music.
I come from Stony Creek at the present time. I was born on Prince Edward Island, but and I heard about music at the country music store here, so I came over just to play and associate with the friends that's here. Yes.
Well, first of all, country music is like, to me, it's like blues, like white man's blues. You know, black man has their blues, and we got the white man's blues, which is country music. And I grew up with country music back in New Brunswick, and it followed me to Ontario, and love country music since I was born. I was raised with country music.
There's always going to be people that like acoustic music or old-time music. For instance, there's a big revival in parts of the world, especially in Ireland, in Celtic music, and they're going back to traditional songs that have been played like 300 or 400 years ago, and that's happening in Newfoundland too, where people are singing music. There are groups that won't even sing music if it's been written in the 1900s, for instance. Probably the best-selling group that we have is a group from Portion Bay, Newfoundland, called Simini, and they do songs about things that are happening either down there, or their biggest song was one called The Saltwater Cowboys, about the Newfoundlanders all going out to Alberta and working in the oil field. Now, younger musicians recording the old Scottish jigs and reels and strass bass, and that sells real good. There's fiddle music from New Brunswick. Ivan Hicks sells real good, which just plays good old New Brunswick fiddle music.
Well, I guess my favorite music is gospel music. I've started singing gospel music when I was just a little wee girl, and then from gospel music I went to country music, from country music to blues, and from blues to bluegrass. And I think probably you can hear the influence of blues in my music and bluegrass music. So music, I've been singing and playing music, well, not playing, but singing music all my life.
You
I think it's kind of a passion with me. It's an escape, it's a release, like from my regular job. This is just a hobby with me. And it is, like, it's just a passion with me. I think I don't know, I can't talk for anybody else, but for myself, it's something that I have to do every day. I have to do it, or else I'm lost. And it's a good way for me to get lost, too, in my music.
Well, country music to me is what you feel, and it's really good to come here because you can jam with the people, and it's good to get people get interested in music and, you know, like court along and get right into it, you know, like it's a really good meeting place for that.
Most of them are people that I see perhaps once a week. You know, I don't, or if that, I'm not here every single week, but, you know, just for the most part, there's certain people that I enjoy singing with, for instance, Ed and a few others that I enjoy.
Yes, this is a hobby with me. I just started playing music, I guess, about 7 or 8 years now, and like the bluegrass sound, so come down here once in a while and play some tunes with the boys.
Well, it's the tradition. My father played music, and he passed it on to me, so it's just the tradition that you keep up, and almost every family plays music, you know.
Young people coming along that like music that's different than the pop-oriented music, no matter what category it may be in. They like music that's more related to the common individual experience, and I guess rural music, I guess.
I find that the Canadian bluegrass scene is in a way stuck in the 40s, and they're not as progressive. If you go down to the States, I've noticed a lot of the bluegrass bands are a lot more progressive, which tends to bring the younger musicians in because they're looking to do something a little newer. They don't want to do this same old stuff, you know. And a lot of people around here have the idea that the old traditional bluegrass is going to die if we move into and make it a little more progressive, but I really don't think that. I think it's going to live because it'll draw the newer people in there, and then they'll be able to go on to appreciate the traditional roots of the music.
Well, it seems to be right down to earth kind of music, you know. You never seem to lose it. It seems to grow up with you. And back in the old days there, you used to fight to try and get Wheeling, West Virginia on your radio, you know. And it just seems that things like Hank Snow was born not too far from us in Brooklyn, Nova Scotia. And I think through those fellas, he would listen to Jimmy Rogers, and it just seemed to grow with us through all the times. And It's right down to earth. It's good old country music. I don't think we'll ever lose it. I think it'll even go to the stars with us. I think the good Lord may even like it.
I started making guitars when I was in high school. Well, just at the point I was leaving high school, I guess. I thought I was going to go out and be a guitar maker as a profession, but there isn't enough call for it. But I got hooked anyways, and I've been doing it ever since. And a few years ago, at the insistence of a mandolin player, I made a mandolin. And I've been really falling in love with them lately, and been almost doing nothing but mandolins lately. Well, there's an awful lot of research you have to do. It took me a long time just to get started, just to find out where to acquire the materials, because the materials are very, very important to the quality of the instrument, especially the top. The top is this particular top on here is Sitka spruce, which comes from northern BC and Alaska, and the spruce has to be. It has to be a tree that grows very slowly so that you have a lot of grain lines per the inch. This makes the wood stiffer and denser and sounds a lot better. So you need really old trees to get a board wide enough, and they have to grow slow. So you want trees that grow high altitudes where the growing season is very short. And so finding the wood is one of the hard parts of getting started building. This one here is one of my higher models. It's got a lot of extra fancy work on it, the inlay and all this. I would imagine on this one, I've got about 280 hours of work in it.
Been a real good experience for both Charlie and I to work during the day and have music like this. And basically, we've met a lot of really good people through the music. People from all different walks of life and different parts of the world, but they get together and have a love for the same type of music. Mainly, it's simple music that that pretty or anyone that can play a few chords can join in on, and you don't have to have a lot of speakers or amplifiers. That's basically why we kept it acoustic, so everybody can join in.
When I first came here, I didn't know anybody, but you know, as you come around, people get to know you, they get to hear you, they get to know what you can do, and pretty soon you just know everybody. It's a nice place to come on a Saturday, nice place to spend an afternoon.